Welcome back to Storytime with Miss Poka. Before we get started, grab your favorite snack, your favorite blanket, and your very own copy of Malaysia's Magical Twist. Hello, friends. Today we'll be reading Malaysia's Magical Twist by Hailey E Robinson. Come on, Malaysia. You know what today is. It's wash day. Malaysia cringed at the thought of another Sunday wash day. It was never an enjoyable experience for her, having to lay her body across the countertop and drop her head into the sink. Begrudgingly, as her mom requested, she walked into the kitchen, climbed on the countertop, and lay down. As the water soaked into her hair and ran into her ears, she pleaded, "Mama, do we have to? And if we do, can you please not braid or twist my hair?" "Little girl, hush. Just lay down and close your eyes. I have to take care of your hair, and washing it is part of the process," her mother tiredly responded. Now let me do it over. "Just lay down and close your eyes. I have to take care of your hair, and washing it is part of the process," her mother tiredly responded. "Don't you want pretty, healthy hair?" she asked. Together they went through the routine of wash day, step by step. Her mom would first begin by taking her hair down from braids or twists. She would then wash and condition her hair, followed by applying leave-in conditioner, and then in sections detangling her curls, ends to roots. She completed the routine with a styling lotion or cream and a hairstyle for the week, a style that was, in her opinion, less than favorable. Her mama always styled her hair in the living room, with Malaysia on the floor between her legs and her sitting on the couch. As she began to part Malaysia's hair, Malaysia always let out one last statement in protest. "No one has to wear braids or twists to school but me." Despite Malaysia's plea, she always ended up with plaits of twists or braids and decorative accessories. Perfect, she thought. How am I going to explain this again at school tomorrow? "Oh, hey, Malaysia," shouted Megan. "Nice hair. Twist again, I see." Malaysia rolled her eyes and smirked. "You know your hair would be prettier if you wear it straight, right?" interjected Cody. "Yeah, they kind of look like noodles, you know," blurted Megan. Once the bell rang, Malaysia walked quietly to Miss Robertson's math class. As she walked, she couldn't help but see pictures of her peers and how different she was. "Okay, class, begin to gather your belongings. Make sure you grab your jacket and an umbrella if you brought one. There's a thunderstorm heading our way," Miss Robertson reported. "Great. Just what I need. A rainy day and a forgotten umbrella," Malaysia thought, knowing how her hair would respond in front of her classmates if wet. It would shrink and puff up in no time. "Yes!" Malaysia simultaneously exclaimed with a loud roar of thunder. "Boom, boom, boom! Psh, psh, psh!" Not even a second later, Malaysia and her backpack were drenched, her hair soaked. It began to shrink and puff right in front of her and her classmates' eyes. "Oh, wow, Malaysia!" Chloe shouted on the bus. "Where did all of your hair go?" "Shut up, Chloe," Malaysia responded in irritation. "Ugh," grunted Malaysia. "Why? I just don't understand. I hate my hair. Why is it like this?" Feeling something tickling her scalp at the side of her eyes, she saw her twist begin to wiggle and rise. In disbelief, she whispered, "Wait, what's happening?" After telling her parents goodnight and exhausted from the day's events, Malaysia crawled into her bed. Hoping the behavior of her hair had taken place in her head, she closed her eyes and drifted off to sleep. The next morning, Malaysia rolled out of bed and noticed that her head felt heavier than usual. Reaching for her face cloth, she notices her bonnet had fallen off and her hair seems to have been repositioned. Confused, Malaysia stopped and realized her twist had been perfectly redesigned in a bun. How had it happened, though? Neither Malaysia nor her mother had redone her hair. Was Malaysia dreaming, or did her hair really have some kind of magical powers? On the bus ride to school, hoping for a better day than yesterday, Malaysia and her hair sat quietly and contently. To her dismay, Chloe disrupted her silence with another snarky remark. Finally, you did something different to your hair. Growing with frustration, Malaysia ran to the bathroom as soon as she got to school. She stood patiently in the mirror, determined to figure out whether her eyes had played a trick on her or not. If everything were as it seemed, her twists were not only the center of jokes, but were quickly becoming a nuisance. She stood there repeatedly, poking at her hair, yet nothing was happening. Her bun lay firmly in place. Impatiently, Malaysia gathered her backpack and headed to class. While walking, Malaysia's pencil bag fell out of her backpack to the floor. Instinctively, she reached down to pick up her colored pencils and crayons. Before she grabbed any of the items, her twist had unraveled, scooped them up, and gently placed them in her hands. In amazement, Malaysia stared at her twist and politely said, "Thank you." She clasped her hands shut, put the items back in her backpack, and walked to class. What Malaysia didn't know was her twist was just getting started. Bent down, tying her shoes, she was unable to see a kickball coming straight towards her head. Chloe, Megan, and Cody had been playing a game of kickball when Chloe kicked the ball and it took a turn towards Malaysia's face. Moving quickly, the ball would have been too fast for her to catch. Just in time, her twists has intertwined together, creating a net to shield her from the force of the ball. As the ball hit her twist, it ricocheted off, hitting Chloe. Within seconds, before Malaysia could get up, her twist had retracted and reformed a bun. This time, with a smile on her face, Malaysia whispered, "Thank you." With the bus parked in front of her house, Malaysia ran down the aisle, jumped off the steps, sprinted upstairs to her bathroom, and locked the door. "Listen, I don't know what happened earlier or how you did it," Malaysia mentioned out loud, "but it was pretty cool, especially when you got Chloe back," she giggled. "If you're really magical, let me see what you can really do." Slowly, her twist began to unravel and dangle in the air. Malaysia confidently shouted out various hairstyles she'd seen on TV. Jumping up and down, she yelled out, "Fishtails, bantu knots, pig puffs, cornrows, space buns, braids, twist outs." Without hesitation, her twist created each style to perfection. "So my twists are magical. Oh my, I have magical twists. What does this mean? Am I magical too?" Malaysia wondered. Convinced, Malaysia shouted, "I'm magical too." The next day in art class, Miss Winters opened class by announcing an art competition for 5th grade students. "Good morning, class. Today we'll be working on your entry for the Artistic Leaders Art Competition, highlighting leaders of the world. Be sure to pick a leader who inspires you. The winner will receive a special prize." Confidently, Malaysia accepted the challenge. Lightly tugging on one of her twists, she mumbled, "Game on." Within seconds, her twists began to pick up paint and brushes. Together, Malaysia and her twists began to create a work of art. And the rest was pure magic. In disbelief, the class stared in amazement. Students stood oohing and eyeing at Malaysia's finished work. Even Megan, Chloe, and Cody could be heard gossiping about how she created something so beautiful and who Malaysia thought she was. As if art class wasn't enough, Malaysia's magical twists were determined to prove a point. During the last hour of the day, Malaysia was heading outside for recess. Drum rope in hand, she began to look for a place to jump on the sidewalk. Yelling across the playground, Cody, Megan, and Chloe could be heard saying, "Just in case you were wondering, you can't jump with us." Unbothered, Malaysia smiled and responded, "That's fine, I don't want to." Once on the pavement, Malaysia's magical twist grew and transformed into her very own jump rope. Her twist began to collapse together, swinging over and around her. Unlike other kids, she no longer needed a regular jump rope. She had everything she needed. Raising her hands up and down, she smiled and laughed. uncontrollably. Malaysia and her magical twist were enjoying every minute. Her peers could finally see both the strength and beauty of her twist. They began to cheer for them both. Their voices echoed, saying, "Go Malaysia, and look at her hair." Chloe, Cody, and Megan could even be heard saying, "Wow, I wish my hair did that." On this day, Malaysia realized what made her different also made her special. She and her hair were perfect, just the way they are. They are everything they're meant to be. That Sunday, it was wash day again for Malaysia. To ease some of Malaysia's past worries, her mom offered to straighten or blow out her hair. To her surprise, Malaysia proudly replied, "Well, actually, could you put my hair back in twist?" Her mom laughed. "Sure, baby, I can do that." Malaysia smiled, tilted her head back, and closed her eyes. "You finally figured it out. I always wondered when this day would come," her mom said. "See, I always told you you were magical." That night, preparing for bed, Malaysia reminisced on everything that had taken place the previous week. She couldn't believe her mom had known about her magical twist all along. As she pulled the covers back, she remembered all the times her mother said she was special. For years, she had believed her hair wasn't good or beautiful as her peers, when in reality, her hair was the best kept secret and the biggest asset. That night, Malaysia's love and appreciation for her hair grew 10 times bigger. Grinning at this realization, she snapped her fingers and her twist readily grabbed her bonnet and coiled themselves into a bun. With her twist now resting, she fell deeper into sleep and whispered, "I love you." Wasn't her hair amazing? Miss Poka has hair like that and it can go all different crazy ways. What's your favorite hairstyle? I would love to know and maybe I can try it here on the show. Bye, friends. Hello, friends. Miss Poka has a very special announcement. We will now be raffling away a t-shirt a month to our very own viewers. Go to pokaspeaks.com and upload what was your favorite book on Storytime with Miss Poka.